This is a series that has been on my radar for a while, since I was already a fan of the manga, but it's also one I felt I could postpone until there were plenty of episodes to binge. Dark Gathering follows the story of a young man named Keitaro, who has an unnatural propensity to attract evil spirits, and this has proven to be a major source of problems for him as he himself has been cursed along with someone very dear to him. His fear of getting others hurt due to the fact that he has this rather attractive disposition to spirits led him to almost shut himself away for the rest of his life. If not for his best friend Eiko, he would have spent his time cooped up in his room avoiding the world. Now, he has returned to school and wants nothing more than to live a normal life away from the supernatural. Unfortunately for him, that's not going to happen. On the first day of his tutoring job, he's placed in charge of the supernaturally fanatical Yayoi, a young girl who not only sees ghosts, but collects them. And she begins dragging poor Kato around on her quest to build a supernatural army. Right off the bat, I gotta say that the sound design is strikingly good for this series. I'm not normally one to praise soundtrack and ambience right out the gate when it comes to an anime, but this one really nails the creepy vibes I get from the manga. I mean, a story about a little girl hunting down ghosts should probably have some level of creepy atmosphere, and this one certainly does it well. And Yayoi isn't the only one who helps with delivering on that. Eiko also contributes to the creepy air about the series in her own ways that you can probably guess as soon as you reach episode 2. The characters in here are a bit trope-ish, but they still come alive enough to make the series feel entertaining and enjoyable. Eiko being so casual about everything, along with the gap between Yayoi's age and personality, make for some good moments of levity when paired with Keitaro being the only character with an iota of common sense. The concept is pretty unique for this one, and it certainly has been a fun take on the supernatural world that has me intrigued enough to want to keep reading the series. All things considered, I like the way the story is panning out. Using urban legends to fill the story out keeps things feeling like there's a wealth of creativity put into the writing of the series. There's also a really good moment that hit me, where Keitaro gets fed up with the two ghost-obsessed girls and snaps at them, declaring his intention to not be a part of their antics any longer. I think that part is done really well, and actually got a smile out of me for how it delivers on his character up to that point. On the downside, the animation for this series is incredibly generic and boring. If not for a story and characters I'm actually interested in, I'd probably not watch this series any further. Still, it's not terrible. However, if you sat me down and told me to pick between reading the manga and watching the anime, I'd pick reading the manga as it feels a bit more loved in the creative process. All in all, for the things I can credit to the anime, it's got one of two right. If its animation game were stronger, it would have earned a higher score. But for now, the story definitely carries this series, and it's one that's worth your time. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, since the overall quality feels like a disappointment. But it's still a good anime. Its story isn't as strong as it could possibly be, but I'm still only on the surface level, both manga and anime. There's still a reasonable amount of time for the story to really wow me, and that might be enough to pump this one up to an 8 or 9.